13 on this 21st day of February, and Dave Landry is running for Wood River City Council in the consolidated April 4th election. I just want to point out real quick, you don't have the headphones on, but I keep playing Elvis music for Wood River City Council candidates. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Elvis is just the guy now we use, but I kind of like it. Dave Landry, how are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing really good.
Awesome. And now, I mean, we're getting closer and closer. I mean, it seems like in December I first started, talking to individuals about this consolidated election, but the last, 3 weeks have just flown by to lead up to this, crunch time now,
Right.
so I know that you're a preacher, but now that you're, kind of throwing your hat in the ring, I think it's best to share with our audience a little bit of your background and tell us who you are if we're not too familiar.
All right. Yeah, I pastor a church here in Alton called Open Door Fellowship. As a pastor, I've learned that it's important to serve the people.
Yeah.
And when I got involved with the politics at Wood River, I thought to myself, what a good opportunity as my pastoral background, serving people, to be a part of helping the city to go forward. And I want to see a city of Wood River blossom and bloom, and I want to be a part of that.
Absolutely. And so take us through real quick, just if you could, I mean, your insight just in and around the community. It seems like you've had, especially with your, pastoral duties, meeting so many different folks from all walks of life. Has that kind of led up to making this decision too?
What made my decision was I'm part of a class of 69 graduates from Wood River.
Bill Ditmars was on the show just a few weeks ago. The class of 69, you guys are really starting to make them doing some work for Wood River, aren't you?
Well, we're a very involved group.
Yeah.
Being that we graduated in 69, we still hang out together.
That's awesome.
We still have fish fries and all kinds of things. And they're a very involved group, and they're interested in what goes on in the city of Wood River.
I think it's great, and also I think it's great that so many of you guys really have a great network too. That you have people that you're talking to and really gaining insight for this. And what are some of the ideas? I know that you were probably fine doing what you were doing, being being a pastor. But what were some of the reasons and things going on that you saw that kind of made you go, it's time to throw my hat in the ring and take a shot at this?
Well, I saw some of the folly that was going on in city council meetings, not with everybody.
Right.
But when the issue came up to destroy the Roundhouse and to build a rec center is when I got involved, and to stop that, to stop the destruction of the rec center, and to try to stop the building, or to stop the Roundhouse from being destroyed, and to also stop the building of a rec center that is going to cost the city of Wood River $8 to $11 million.
And see, that's something, it seems like that's really a common focal point of this consolidated election for you guys in Wood River, was this rec center. And, and if you could, because I've asked all the candidates too, in a way, could you educate me a little bit just from your perspective of the rec center and how that took place?
Sure. What happened is the citizens of Wood River got this issue on the ballot to vote on.
Right.
And they voted 3-1 against a rec center in favor of a pool. After they voted, they found out that this was a non-binding vote, which nobody knew that even existed, which meant the city council didn't have to listen to our vote.
Right.
And they didn't. And they voted 3-2 in favor of building a rec center. And what made the issue even hotter is on that proposal, that 1% sales tax that the city voted on was for infrastructure, and it very specifically states in there that it's for bridges, roads, and waters and sewers, and it doesn't say anything in there about a rec center. So that was sort of a slap in the face. And then one of the city council members that is now up for election had the audacity to get up in a city council meeting and say to the voters that we didn't know what we were voting on and that they knew best, and they voted it in. And that's
Okay.
where the anger is.
Well, and see, that's something I'm thank you very much, because I know I don't want to, definitely create any more discrepancies here. That's why I always think it's fascinating to learn, because, I've heard that same sentiment, on this airwaves, just a couple of weeks ago, and, heard it, in rumblings, but just to get it from your perspective is very insightful. So, my question is, so what are some of your platform ideas, some of your campaign ideas that you're running on? Is it just making sure everyone's heard? What are some of the things that you're utilizing this campaign ahead of the April 4th election?
All right, I would like to clear up some facts
Yeah.
and what I'm in favor of. And I think it's important that people not
sure.
be led down a wrong trail.
Well, and not to cut you off, that's why we do these, because I don't ever ask questions to put people into corners. Whatever you want to get off your chest or highlight, please do so.
I think, for one thing, the Park and Rec director secured a grant for economically distressed grant. It was only one grant. And he wasn't saying that Wood River was economically distressed, but he secured that grant for a rebuilding and structuring of a baseball field at the 6th Street Park for our Wood River High School and our baseball team. And I'm in favor of that.
Yeah.
And I want to be a part of that. And I think that people need to understand that we're not economically distressed, but that was one grant that is going to benefit Wood River High School and our students.
Right.
The other thing is I'm for economic growth. The rec center's being built. I fought hard against it. I put out signs.
Yeah.
I handed out literature, but they voted 3-2 to build it. And I think it's important for us as city council, as citizens, to realize this building is going up.
Yeah.
And it's not in our interest to fail.
Well, and that's a great point, too, that you just made, too. It's going up, but I like that. It's not in our interest to fail, because you can't at this point. Now you got to make this work.
Got to make it work. They asked the YMCA to be a part of it. They said no. Nobody's going to want to be involved in a rec center that is failing. So it's important for us to secure that rec center and do everything we can to make it function. I'm looking at my notes.
Oh, you go for it. Because honestly, I would much rather somebody, and I've said this before, because people know I used to do the Political Tonight show, and there's so many times that people come on and they don't have anything prepared, and then it's like, well, no, tell us what you're preparing for. If you think that everyone has that nobody's got a prompter in front of them, you're well mistaken. That's why I tell all of you guys that come on the show, I love it, because it shows how you're really gonna hone down and buckle in.
There's a couple retention ponds that are being built. One's just got built. The East End Detention Pond has erosion issues. It was completed in January, which was a hard time to secure and keep that erosion issue from happening. But it's being addressed, and I think the citizens of Wood River need to understand that it's being addressed, and it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's holding the water so it doesn't flood. And as a result of that, and I think it's important for Wood River citizens to know, there is developers that are there ready and wanting to develop that land over there, because now it's not a flood zone.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
And it's important for us to understand that this is called economic growth, and Wood River needs economic growth.
Absolutely. And no, it's a great point that you brought up. Also, one of the commenters said, God bless you, Dave. So want to thank you for your comments. If you have any questions, too, feel free to text them into the text line, 618-759-7469. Back to Dave Landry. What else are you looking to address here today?
Okay, the retention pond that is being built off of 9th Street is a very important retention pond, because it's a 100-year detention pond that will allow every citizen in Wood River to no longer be in a flood zone, and it will eliminate them having to pay for a costly and expensive flood insurance. And I'm for that. I think that's a great thing. And people need to know that Wood River is going forward with some good projects. All we seem to hear is all the bad, and Wood River is trying to do some good things. And the other thing is they signed a contract on the 14th of February 2023 with the Army Corps of Engineers to begin a water and sewer separation in the city of Wood River, beginning on State Street. Well, it will help eliminate the stink and the sewage backup. And that's a great thing. And I'm for that. And I want to be a part of that. And it's important that everybody in the city of Wood River knows that.
Absolutely. And well, you know, and is that, did we clear up any of the did we get all of the misconceptions or any points? Did we get all of those out there?
Well, I want to continue with economic growth. Attract new business, develop our downtown, fix our sidewalks, our roads, lower taxes by stimulating economic growth, fix our parks. Recently, I was able to be a part of getting funding over $80,000 to go toward East End Park to refix that up. And I think it's important that all of our parks in Wood River come up to par, and not one park looks better than the other park. And I'm grateful to the city of Wood River that they allocated $80,000 to help restore that park.
Absolutely. And I just didn't want to cut you off while we were in the thick of that. But I mean, it's really fascinating. And I find a lot of your points. I mean, I think that what you're trying to accomplish is what a lot of people try to do, but it just takes a village, you know, and it takes that group of people behind you. And you're, you know, of course, of, you know, maybe it's knocking on doors or passing out materials. You know, we've all been in that grind. You know, what have been some of the words that you've heard from some of your constituents about some of the things that are going on in and around Wood River City government?
Well, I think a lot of the citizens, you know, don't realize a lot of the good things that are happening because
good point.
You know, people want to pound on the negative. And, you know, when you're in city council and you're promoting all the negative that's going on, and you're not communicating with the mayor, you're not communicating with the city manager, you're not getting a hold of your fellow city council people, and you're trying to see how you can resolve things, then all you hear is the negative of what's going on. And I think it's important that the citizens of Wood River also realize that there's some great opportunities getting ready to happen, and Wood River is getting ready to boom.
Great point. And also, I want to throw out there, you know, it's something that I've said with, you know, pretty much every candidate in some way, shape, or form. It's a two-way street, right? You know, it's your guys' job to go out and really make sure everyone's voice is heard and you're doing the right thing. But as citizens, too, it's also our opportunity and responsibility to reach out to, to the city council members, to reach out to the mayor's office, to reach out to these things, because you're right. And I never say this, but it's a philosophical point, really not a political point, is that once you start communicating and having that, a lot of the negative and a lot of the bad articles or anything you see goes away, because a lot of it starts with not communicating effectively, I think.
Right. And I think that those things should be brought out. I think our city councils should have a voice of looking at everything that's going on and making sure that it's being done properly. But I also think they need to have a voice that is saying, look, this is what we're doing for Wood River. Yeah. And I think that's also important.
It's hugely important. And so with that, I mean, talking to some of the voters, now we're kind of gearing up to that policy. We talked a little bit about it. So if you win, you know, we've been talking here for a little bit, you know, over 15, around that 12 to 15 minute mark. If you win, what is the first thing that you're looking to do day one?
Well, I want to be a part of serving the citizens of Wood River. I want to be able to hear their voice. I want to look at everything with common sense. Yeah. You know, I think that's the problem in government today. We've lost our common sense. Yeah. And you can look at Washington and see that. We need to come together. Yeah. We need to compromise. We need to come together and resolve issues.
Well, and not to cut you off, but I think that's something that we've heard so many times from the candidates that are running for these positions, is that even though there's different ideas and different philosophy, the meat of it, from what I've gathered, is, you know, we have to work together here. Yes. You know, and I think that's really important for the voters to know about, is that, you know, we might have differences of opinion, not you and I, but you and other council members or candidates, but you guys are going to do what's best for the city. I mean, that's in your heart. I can see it, though, with everyone that's been on this show. You guys really care.
And we all have our points.
Yeah, right.
And but I think that the voters need to look at each individual candidate, Are they going to create a situation where there's no compromise? Is it going to be fighting and bickering? Is that all that they're going to accomplish? Or are they going to look at the issues that are confronting the city and be a part of that resolve and to make the city go forward and advance and be prosperous? The more the city prospers, our taxes are going to get lowered. We're going to have economic growth. And I feel like I'm the guy for that job.
Absolutely. And I really appreciate you taking some time out of your day and really just kind of filling us in, because it's really something that's important. And I've said it time and time again. I've said it on different radio stations and shows, but local elections are the most important. I mean, they really are. I mean, yeah, it's great to vote in the national and general elections, but if you aren't taking care of your home front here and not voting, that's why the turnout's so low a lot of times. I mean, that's really of concern. So to have you on the show and have other candidates, it's great because we raise awareness and hopefully fire some people up to vote. And you know what I'm saying? And I really think it's great. So, Dave, anything else you want to say to the people of Wood River or anyone else that's watching today that you would like to address?
I'm knocking on doors. I'm handing out literature. I'm hitting the streets. I want your vote. I want to be a part of helping to serve the needs of Wood River and listening to you as citizens and be a voice that you can count on. So,
absolutely. And if people wanted to reach out to you, is there a way to do so?
They can. I have a site called Citizens for Dave Landry, and they can get on that site, which and they can. I'm not. A lot of people say in the ministry that don't give out your phone number.
That's a good point.
But I've always said I'm there to help. If you're an alcoholic, you're a drug addict, if you're having problems with a family, if you're a troubled person, I'm not afraid to give you my phone. My cell phone number is 618-670-7292. I'm here to help.
Absolutely. And the Facebook page, Citizens for Dave Landry. Stay up to date on the latest news. And Dave, all I got to ask you, as I asked all the other candidates this, on April 4th, if you win, you got to give us a call that night whenever we're doing election coverage.
Will do.
Absolutely. 10:30 on the dot on this 21st day of February in the heart of the Riverbend. Joining us next, Gail Stolder, and we're talking about some really cool stuff about the way that maybe we need to start looking to change some of the ways we do a lot of our injections through the vein. It's a really great conversation. I'm just be honest, Dave, you heard me there. I'm not a medical expert, but Gail is, so we hear from her next.